Hey guys, welcome to patch of Exile 0.1.1. Let's see what's up. I'm very curious. Been playing this game
I'm
non-stop.
Jonathan Rogers,
I got
game
notes ready
director on Path of
for
Exile
once.
2. Well, we're back from our break. We've been playing the game
Oh,
a
time,
whole
damn
lot,
it.
and we've been reading a whole lot of feedback
I'm
as well.
joking.
So it's time to assess and work out what we're going to do next.
Please tell us.
Now, later this week we'll be releasing PoE 2 0.1.1. This is a
Sweet.
patch designed to address the concerns that we can address relatively quickly, without needing to create a new league or a new economy just yet. In this video, we'll be going over some of the issues we've identified and what we're planning on doing about them.
The hooded one.
It's worth stressing that just because a specific issue isn't on this list doesn't mean that we're not aware of it or that it isn't going to get addressed. It just means that we either can't fix the problem quickly or we can't do so without the need for a new economy. One of the major areas that needs a lot of attention is the base experience of mapping. We've made a lot of changes here. First, in-game maps have received a balanced pass to the number of monsters, number of chests, number of magical rare monsters, number of essences, strongboxes, and precursor artifacts.
Good.
You should generally find maps more rewarding than before.
Yeah, that's very
Maps
good.
generally specialize in one or more of these elements that they will be particularly rewarding in. Now, towers are a thing that's very important for players to run often, but we only had one of them.
They suck ass.
We wanted to add more variety here as soon as possible.
Load your
so we've added
maps.
4 more tower maps. Alpine Ridge, Sinking Spire,
Okay.
Bluff,
Hopefully they're worth it though. Hopefully there's you can spawn like
and Mesa.
hopefully you can spawn cool new environments. Hopefully you can spawn mechanics
Also
on it.
redone the existing Lost Towers map to make playing there less boring.
There's nothing on it. It's just enemies. Like
We're now
there
also
should be
spawning more maps with bosses.
That's
The
fucking
rate
good.
was intended to be 1 in 4 maps, but in reality the rate was much lower due to some maps being unable to spawn bosses. We've increased the
Really?
rate to compensate for this issue so that we can get the actually intended rate. We're also adding a new type of tablet that allows you to add bosses to your maps with its own mod pool.
That's good.
Strongboxes also needed some love.
Yeah,
They
big
now
time.
spawn monsters faster, have a less annoying fog effect, and have also received changes to the timings and effects of the mods on them.
Okay, good, perfect.
Now, let's
Not
talk about
wasting time.
visibility of effects. Many maps had too much clutter, preventing effects on the ground from rendering, causing you to be unable to see and dodge them. We've both changed the level of clutter on some maps, and changed some effects to make sure that they are always visible.
Good song by the
In
way. I love
addition,
it.
elemental explosion
In-game
effects
as well.
have had visibility improved. Stick around for longer before they explode, and disappear without exploding if a rare monster dies.
Okay.
Volatile plants are also way easy to see before they explode.
Never had an issue with that. I know a lot of
Now
people
we've
did.
also
Like,
increased the zoom level on the Atlas, done a pass
Good.
on various terrain collision issues in many maps.
that's good. Oh yeah,
Also
that part.
improved the
Actually,
load
remember
times
that
of
part.
Opening the world map and Atlas.
I was just stuck on it.
And we also now show the biome of a map on the hover for it.
Yeah.
For other in-game content systems, we're focusing on getting
Like
all the
augury.
rewards in line with what they should be. For Delirium, we recently fixed a bug which caused Delirium monsters to just not spawn after the starting part. And we've also buffed the rate of simulacrums dropping by 20%.
Thank
To make
God.
it more in line with the rate of finding the expedition.
I was doing
of
like
ritual
3-4
bosses.
for a run. It didn't make any sense.
For Ritual, we've made omens now appear in the Ritual Tribute window 60% more often.
Good.
For Expedition, we've improved the rarity from the shops, but we'll be wanting to make some more substantial changes to the rewards for this league later on.
Okay, good. Because like so far there's
And one of the
nothing
major
there.
concerns that we're often seeing is that getting to play Pinnacle content just takes too long, and that when you do finally get there, you only get one attempt and don't get a chance to learn the boss. In order to address these concerns, we're making the following changes. First, we're making the Citadel spawn closer to the center of the Atlas, and we've also added an effect so you can see
haven't
them in the
found one
fog
yet.
of war from further away. This makes them much easier to find.
Been
To
playing
address
quite a
the
bit.
problem of only
I
having
haven't
one
found any.
attempt, on the Arbiter of Ash you will now get up to 6 respawn attempts. Respawns can only be triggered by the person who
So
put in
6
the
portals?
keys, and everyone on your party will be respawned at the same time.
I haven't played this fight yet.
Leaving the map still
First time I
forfeits
see
your
it.
attempt,
First time I see it,
so you'll still
actually.
need to fight the boss with the build you walked into the map with. Higher difficulties of the boss will lower the number of respawn attempts you get, but you should know the mechanics of the fight by then, right?
Actually, that's good. I like that.
Now, we'll also be adding respawns to other Pinnacle content as well over time. Another thing that players have noticed is that there are less keys from Faradin Citadels on the market, and thought that it was because the Citadel spawns less often. It turns out though that this is just because the boss kills players more often than the others.
This
We've made a
boss?
few changes to
He's
that
super
boss to
easy.
bring it in line with the other bosses.
In the acts.
A lot of people have reported that many of our unique items are feeling underwhelming. Uniques are often designed to be build enabling at high levels.
There's like
even
one
if
more
they're
or two
low
that are
level
good in the
uniques.
whole game.
We realize that we do need to make sure that more uniques feel powerful when you first get them at low levels too. In this patch we are buffing a lot of uniques. These changes should make finding uniques at lower levels a lot more fun, and make subsequent character playthroughs more fun too when you have some great uniques to use.
Okay.
We're also changing a few other things to make finding rares better at higher levels too. First, we're changing mod weightings a bit to make sure that there are less bad mods. Another fix is making high tier items no longer cull the highest tier modifier of a given mod type. This bug caused bows and crossbows to not spawn with attack speed at tier 5 rarity, and rings to not spawn with life at tier 5 rarity.
Really?
Another change we're making is to make it so that socketables such as runes can now be overwritten with another socketable. Now, as we continue to play, we still find many balance anomalies with specific monsters or bosses that can be
the ghost
nasty if you encounter
types,
them.
the invisible ones.
This
so
patch
annoying.
contains a pass adjusting a large number of those monsters and bosses. We'll save the full list for the patch notes, but there are a significant number of changes here that should address many cases where monsters or bosses felt too hard in certain circumstances.
And some of them
Here are a
too
few
easy.
examples to get a taste of what kind of changes you can expect. The Silver Fist Commander roll now does a lot less damage.
Okay. One shot?
Plague Bearers Detonate Dead can no longer be used from off-screen and has better telegraphing. Forsaken Miners throw less grenades, have improved
I
visuals,
died to
and deal
these
less
guys.
damage.
I didn't
And
see it,
Lost Men
man.
Zealots can no longer meteor you from off-screen either, as well as
these
many
guys
other
are not
changes
too
just
bad.
like those. One of the big issues for players on consoles is that the web-based item filter system is currently not working. This means that they can't use item filters like the PC users can. For 0.1.1, we'll be enabling the same system that PoE 1 has, which allows you to subscribe to item filters on the website.
Breach is probably like
Now
the
this will
best
be done on the PoE 1
content in the
website
game
to
right
allow
now,
us
to
to
be
get this
honest.
feature out
It's
as
really
fast as
cool.
possible. Later on, we'll improve the user experience of this and put it on the Path of Exile 2 website.
Okay.
This patch also contains a bunch of other smaller changes and bug fixes that I'm sure you guys will appreciate, like buffing armor and scavenged plating,
Oh yeah.
showing the number of
Warrior,
uses
like,
left in your
needs
charms,
help big
as
time.
well as an effect when they trigger,
That's pretty cool.
The song of the exiles.
fixing the music that Una was supposed to play in town,
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was meant to happen.
and plenty of other little fixes and improvements throughout the game.
It's a small
Now,
patch.
we have a huge amount of much more
GGG.
meta-shifting changes that we know we want to make. And one of the best things about having the game in early access with the endgame
True.
is that we now have a much better idea of where we want character power to be and what the balance of bosses and monsters should be relative to that. But those types of changes are going to have to wait until we are ready to make a new league with a new economy for people to play in.
A new league.
That's still a little while away yet, but in the meantime we'll be continuing to identify things that are causing frustration and try and address them. I want to thank you guys for playing and hope to be doing more of these in the future. Later.
Thanks, Jonathan. Again, I got a bunch of, like, I took some notes here while you was talking, and like the last one really, I guess, is really interesting. A new league. So you know that currently we're not in a league, right? I call it the early access league, but obviously that's not it. But again, the game is technically out, right? I mean, when we're playing a Path of Exile 1 and we didn't have all the acts in the game, we're still playing leagues. So, you know, the game is there, the end game is there. I say bring leagues in. I mean, everybody's playing like it's a normal game. I mean, if you bring in somebody new who had never heard of Path of Exile 2 and you tell them this is like the real game, they'll believe you. They wouldn't know that like you're missing 3 acts, right? If they don't have any kind of information. So I think that's a good idea. Bring in leagues, get some rewards, you know, have some fun with it. And now starting from the top, what happened to duping? Was that a thing for real, or did people get banned? Are the items destroyed? Whatever happened to duping? Unless that never actually happened. And I know there was some hacking going on with trading, but weren't people like also duping items? Somehow there's like an exploit, unless they got taken out like real quick, and that's why they didn't mention it. Endgame mapping, I don't know, endgame mapping is weird. I'm getting tier 15 maps. Sometimes I'm getting like 5 per map, and sometimes I'm getting 0 for like 6 maps in a row. It's like really strange. The tower maps, I guess that's a good idea to have like more biomes, but the problem with the tower maps, is that there's no league content on them, right? That you can spawn ritual, breach, etc. And those are like probably like the most fun parts of the game, especially breach. The other two are not so good because they're not very rewarding, right? But breach is like tons of monsters. Then again, I always love breach. I started playing Path of Exile in breach, and I love breach ever since. I absolutely love it when they throw everything at you, you know. So again, more tower maps, okay, cool, but like, are you gonna add anything to it? And that is also the problem with the game, I find, like in endgame, is that there's no more surprise, you know? In Path of Exile 1, you load a map, you don't know what you're gonna get. You know, is it Breach, Delirium? Who knows, right? But now you see them on the map, which in a way is good because you know what you're getting. And I guess in a way that could be like set up with your Atlas tree in the previous game. But now it's like there's no more like there's no surprise. You go in, you have a breach, you have an expedition, you have a ritual, and that's it. That's all you're gonna get. There's nothing else. Maybe what they should do, perhaps, if you get on the map of breach, the breach is guaranteed, but you can have like bonus other mechanics that are not shown on the map itself, like an extra. So you're not removing anything, but you keep adding, right? That could be an idea. Bosses, I feel some of them are like very difficult, and some of them are like very easy. I don't have really any examples. The hyena I find like really annoying. Um, the down can like one shot you with the spears or with the third hit. And then you got the candle guy, with the fire guy who's like super easy. Like you just like stand behind him. He's like super slow. And depending what kind of boss you get on your map, that could like actually like make that could actually mean you complete the map or you fail it and you die. Strongbox is trash. Good thing they're actually working it. And I also noticed that it's the Strongbox starts much faster, which is great. Ritual, a bit kind of useless. I never got anything good at a ritual. The rewards are absolutely trash. Expedition, it had lost a lot of like its power. I played Expedition mainly in Settlers, and I played Settlers quite a bit. I'm missing the giant bomb that blows up all the chests, but that's unfortunately that's now it's like you're just buying items. It's the rewards are trash. Citadels, haven't seen any. I don't know where they're at. Good to hear they're actually going to bring them in. I haven't found one. Six portals for the final boss, or the pinnacle boss as they call him. And that goes down as the difficulty increases. I think that's a good idea actually. So you fight it the first time it's six, and then it's five, four, three, two, one for the highest one. I think that's a good idea. I kind of like it a lot. So like this, you kind of get the best of both worlds. Because in a way, I kind of like the one portal. I like the fact that you have to pay attention to what you're doing. I I love that mentality that you're actually like, you're striving for something. You're not just like closing your eyes, watching TV on the next screen, and you're just like blasting through maps. I enjoy the fact that you have to pay attention. But when you die, especially to something like really stupid, like corpse explosion or something, or like on death effect, that really sucks. Then you're like, okay, I don't feel like playing the game anymore. So it's like, in a way, I like the fact that it's like very demanding, but at the same time, it's only fun as long as you're succeeding. As soon as you fail, you're done for. So that could actually work. Six portals and then going down. Maybe do something similar for maps? I don't know. I don't know. Uniques being changed. I feel like all the uniques I found are trash. There's like what? There's like two or three uniques in the game that are like really good that people want. I feel like again, give uniques better stats, way better stats, but make them rare. Make them super rare. Like at least I don't know, just a lot more like rare uniques that are worth something. Because right now, if you don't have those three uniques, it's worthless. They're all worthless. Like 95%, 98% of uniques are trash. That's not normal. Runes being added to the sockets, it's okay. I guess I don't really mind. And that's about it. So overall, great changes. Again, this for GGG, I feel that this is a very small patch. It's 0.1.1. So we're not getting anything major. Of course, we're all expecting, new classes, new bosses, new maps, new enemies, new end game content, new leagues being added. But until then, we're gonna live with the fixes for this one, which again, so far, early access first instance of the game is absolutely amazing. I've been playing like nonstop since it came out pretty much. Thank you for watching. Peace.